Hi, my name is Mikko Kempe and I'm just sitting here in Stinson Beach, California, close to San Francisco. And today I'm gonna give a dating tip for women and I'm gonna answer the question, do men just want sex? And how do you know whether you should wait or not to wait? So you ended up in his place or your place on the couch and you watched the movie has ended, and so things are now getting kind of steamy and you're feeling like he's wanting to go all the way. He's making all kind of moves and all of a sudden all kind of questions pops up into your head like, why is he doing this? Does he want just sex from me? Does he really like me? Do I like him? Do I want to have sex with him? Is he gonna call me the next day? And so forth and so forth. So if you're like most women, in the midst of a steamy moments, you probably have had those kind of questions popped into your head. So do you want to know what's going on in the guy's head all the while you're having all these questions? If so, just listen to me a little while longer and I'll explain you. Now, before, of course, my advice is for those women who choose to have sex before marriage. Now, if you want to have, I don't think you should let anybody tell you what to do, and always listen to your heart to know what you want for yourself. For example, if you want to wait till marriage to have sex, then the easy answer for you for this would be just to wait. But if you're one of those women who are not sure whether what you should do and you're struggling with these questions, then this is what I think you should understand, is when the guy is in the midst of this type of moment, a lot of times nothing is really going on in his head. All the blood has flown to south, and often we don't really think that much. So realizing this will help you understand that guys often always get physically attracted to women first, and only after that, if we get to know you and get to spend more time with you, do we realize if there's emotional or mental attraction and whether we care and like you as well. So a lot of times for women it doesn't happen that way. A lot of times you get mentally attracted to a guy first. You see something about him, the way he smiles or the way he opens the door, the way he carries himself or whatever, and you get a mentally attracted to him first, and then you start caring about him, and after that there's physical attraction. Even if you think there's physical attraction first, you always have these kind of emotional and mental attraction associated with it. So by understanding this, it's going to help you realize that to make sure you don't unknowingly set yourself up to be hurt. Because a lot of times guys, we really just honestly do get physically attracted to first, and then if we do have sex, we may later realize that we don't really know you that well and we may not care for you that much. And so by knowing this, it will help you not unknowingly just assume that the guy must care for you too because you care for him. So that's the first advice. Now the second advice is to realize that often by you waiting and respecting yourself, you're teaching guys a very important lesson, and that is to actually respect you and to respect others. And there's other benefits beside that. A lot of times if you feel like you want to wait, it may be the best thing for the guy as well, because if you take the time to make sure he actually knows you and he actually cares about you, he will have that chance to discover it within himself. Because the more intimacy there is soon, then you may become so attached and he may start having all these feelings that he doesn't really know you, and all of a sudden you're so intimate. So by making sure for taking the time to actually get to know each other, you may actually bring out the best in him as well, and he will have the time to discover whether he likes you and how much he likes you and how much he cares for you. And also I met a lot of nice guys, and I know for them they would want to make the occasion special as well. But realizing that if you are willing to have sex, and because we are usually physically attracted to you first, we do want to have sex, and the guys do want to have sex, and so there shouldn't be nothing wrong with guys wanting to have sex, because that's just our nature. And unfortunately some women have complained, okay, guys just want to have sex, and guys don't all they think about is sex, And unknowingly, a lot of times, or some guys have then taken this into and suppressing their sexual drive and thinking there's something wrong with wanting to have sex when there shouldn't be nothing wrong with having sex. After all, you wouldn't want to have a guy who's not physically attracted to you, right? You want to have a guy who's sexually interested in you. So the way you then communicate that if you want to wait in the midst of you guys having kissing each other or being in the couch and you feeling like he's wanting to go all the way, what you can safely say is this. Just tell him that, oh, this feels so good and I really like you, and but I just want to go slow and I want to just take my time, so I don't want to go all the way. So what you have communicated is that you like that you like him, and that what you're doing is feeling really good and he's making you happy, but you're just not ready for more. And sometimes guys may think that's just that you don't really mean it, often because you don't mean it. So what you want to do is, if he still keeps on going and tries to have sex with you and you really don't want to have sex, then just repeat that a little bit more firmer, so that he will really get the message that, okay, you want him to respect him, you want him to respect you. And then guys usually have no problem with respecting you, as long as you respect yourself and what you want. So realizing that by having the freedom to say no, it can actually be the best thing for both of you, and you can actually help bring the best out of him, and you will feel good about yourself, and you have respected your wishes and wants, and you have given an important message for him to also to respect you, and you have given him the opportunity to really take the time to get to know you. And in that way, your passion in your relationship can actually keep growing, and the more the time you take, and the more he will anticipate being intimate with you. So as long as he feels that there's hope, and you give him the message that he is doing everything right and it feels good, and then you are happy with what he has been doing, and you make him feel successful in dating you and making you happy, then there's no reason why you should feel afraid to say no to sex. And those times when some guys, obviously there are some guys who just do want to have sex and nothing else, and then if you do want to have something more serious, then you've done the right decision anyway. By if those guys leave just because you didn't have sex, well then you probably were glad that those guys did leave. So respect yourself, respect your wants and wishes, and that applies for guys and girls. And so I hope you have enjoyed this tip for whether to have sex or not, and I hope you come back and maybe leave me a comment